All right. So Sam and I are close friends. I was actually out on his boat last week doing a whale watching tour, which was amazing. So, Sam, give us a little background. Tell us a little bit about yourself and Odyssey Adventures.
First off, thanks for having me today and listening to my story. I've known Dylan for now 10 years, and he learned scuba diving from me, and we've as well as a couple other speakers here, Alan as well. But Odyssey Adventures started in 2020, a unique time to start a business for sure. But it ended up being the best time to start a business, especially an adventure business. The company is really, it's an ecotourism, whale watching, scuba diving company, but it's really all about the experience. So not just teaching diving, but we also do a lot of conservation work as well. So giving back as well. The company really started though with my experience in Indonesia. I did a shark and turtle research project out there that was really key in igniting my passion for conservation as well as the ocean. So out there, I was lucky enough to be chosen to do a shark and turtle research project where we tagged sharks. We also did some really unique work with turtles as well. And we did coral restoration projects too. So taking that, I also became a professional diver out there. So taking that experience, I took that back to San Diego. At the time, I was a brewer at a local brewery that Dylan would frequent often. So we definitely loved that as well. And I made the transition to full-time entrepreneur and in the industry.
Yeah, do we have any scuba divers out here? Yeah, there we go. We got a couple.
Ellen, I trained Ellen as well.
Yeah.
She's a speaker later.
Yeah, so speaking of 2020, everyone kind of came out of that. Myself and my friends were like, well, we've got this money saved up. We haven't really done anything. Let's try something new. So we signed up to get scuba certified with Sam, and it was one of the coolest things we ever did. Honestly, we all fell in love with it. It's just such an amazing experience being underwater. Sam was very professional, great guide. And then we've been going out on trips with him ever since. So if you are into something like that, talk to Sam after, but tell us a little bit about how you got into scuba diving in the first place. What was your sort of first dive like? And then what was it like, transitioning that into the entrepreneurial journey of building the business around it?
Yeah, good question. So I started diving actually because of my mother. She's been diving since the 70s. And so super badass woman, my hero. And she took 20 years off to raise me and my sister. And about 10 years ago, she said, hey, I want to get back into diving. I think you'd really be interested in it. We went out to Hawaii and redid the certification with her. And it was just lights out, the best thing I ever did, and totally changed my life. So it was just a great experience to do that with my mom. And it was just a really great thing to keep it in the family.
Nice. And then how did you transition that into building the business? Because for those of you who don't know, we live in San Diego, and San Diego is a very water beach city. There's a lot of activities there. And Sam's company, Odyssey, in the past few years has really emerged as the number one scuba diving company in San Diego, which has been really amazing to see. And combining that with the conservation work you've been doing has been, really powerful. So how did you sort of get this idea to build a business around that, and where was the inspiration to include the conservation aspect?
Yeah, totally. So it really started, like I said, in Indonesia, but then I noticed that I had a lot of friends in conservation as well, at Scripps Institute of Oceanography as well. And also we do some really unique citizen scientist projects, like our other speaker was talking about, which is super important. We work with the Cousteau Foundation and Cousteau Divers, which obviously most of you guys know, Jacques Cousteau. And that is his cousin, no, not his cousin, his nephew, sorry, that runs that. And we use what's called a remora, and it's a really unique small device that you can clip onto your BCD. And this lets everyday divers, people who don't necessarily do science work, lets them do a really important science, and they can see that data on an app that we provide for them, and they can see their dive and their data, and we provide that information to the state of California, and they need that information so that they can make more marine protected areas. So once they have that information, they're very keen on expanding the marine protected areas. So that's one of the projects we do. Another one of the projects we do is with the
Gilly sharks.
Gilly sharks as well. Yep. Sorry, guys, I'm not a professional speaker, so thanks. The other project that I did want to highlight was with Scripps, and that one's a new project that we're doing. And that one is really close to my heart. Pretty much every time that I go diving, when we come out of the water, there's kids at the beach, and they come up to us and they're like, "Oh my God, like what did you see? What did you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, like, have you never been here before?" And it's amazing, even in San Diego, to see how many kids, it's their first time ever being at the beach or in the water. So we teamed up with Scripps, and we're working to get underprivileged youth into the water free of charge and get them their scuba diving certifications, kind of sparking their fire in them to get into jobs in the ocean world as well. And we offer an internship as well that's for those who are really interested in making that part of their life.
Yeah, that's amazing work. Appreciate everything you're doing. And so again, I've known Sam for a while, and it's been really fun and interesting to watch him grow as a person and his company. I started with just getting my open diving certification. Then you've launched Catalina trips, advanced diving. You have trips to Florida. You offer whale watching tours and conservation on top of that. So it's been really cool just seeing it all grow and grow and grow. What are some of your future goals for yourself and your business?
Yeah, so I literally started off in the backyard of my house in San Diego, and now we've grown. We're still a very small company. We got 4 employees, but we have 2 boats now. We really focus on the experience. So we have a boat in San Diego, as well as a boat in Long Beach that we take over to Catalina Island. And Catalina Island, if you don't know, and the Channel Islands have some of the best kelp forest diving in the world. So we're really keen on showing people that ecosystem. It's a very, very important ecosystem that is also obviously being affected by climate change as well. So basically, we're trying to, instead of having a big brick and mortar shop like most scuba diving operations have, and they're mostly focused on selling gear, we're again really focused on the experience and citizen scientist work. So we'd really like to get more boats, and hopefully in the future electric boats, because obviously again we're using a lot of fuel when we are doing these trips. So we are trying to find that balance between giving back and being at least net neutral. So there is a lot of technology, especially in California, that's coming out with like electric boats and whatnot. So we're hoping to be one of the first operators to have electric boats. And we're looking at a catamaran system right now that's both electric for motoring and also wind powered, obviously with the sails too. So
yeah, that's
hopefully
awesome.
that's the future.
And tell me a little bit more. You have a trip coming up in like a week, right, to Florida. Tell us a little bit about your Florida dive trips that you organize.
So yeah, we're not just San Diego based. We do trips all over the world, and like one of the big reasons I'm here is to learn from all of you, and to also network and maybe bring our people to polar regions and different places. But we do a really unique trip pretty much every 4 months to Florida, the Florida Keys. If you guys are divers, definitely ask me any questions about that. And there's some amazing shipwreck diving out there, but our favorite thing is we teach people how to safely handle large species of sharks. So it's no cages, nothing. It's full on. You're right there. I've got great videos. I wish I had one up here, but I was a last-minute speaker. And it's a life-changing experience to be in the vicinity of such a beautiful creatures and realize that they have no interest in causing any harm to human beings. And you can actually really safely interact with them, as close as this. So it's a really special, magical moment.
Yeah. How many dives would you say you've done? Do you count, or is it just in the thousands?
At a certain point, you stop counting, yeah. But your computer, I think on this computer, I have like 2,000. So
Wow.
a good amount of dives on there, all over the world, but always traveling more. Yeah.
Yeah. Share, maybe one or two experiences that stand out in your mind while you're underwater and just sort of feeling, at one with the ocean, or something, with an animal interaction, or something that stands out in your mind as like, wow, this is so cool and such a unique experience.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, one of those dives was with my mom that I was telling you guys about in Costa Rica, and we had two 40-foot whale sharks come right up to us, and I had my camera right here, and it just came up and kissed me right on the camera. They're really attracted to the cameras and the electronics in there. So, but I like to think it kissed me. But it was magical. It was like seeing a dinosaur. Honestly, it was really epic. But really, every day is like a treasure, especially in the kelp forests of California. We see just so much wildlife, and luckily in California we do have a lot of marine protected areas. So we see all kinds of, we have whales, we have dolphins, we have the California sea lions. They're absolutely amazing to interact with.
Yeah. I mean, just last week, I was kind of having a relaxing Sunday. I texted Sam and I was like, hey, what are you up to? He goes, oh, I have a whale watching tour. You should come. And ended up being such a cool day.
Great.
Tell him a little bit about last
That was
week's
great.
whale
That was a
watching
great
experience.
last minute trip there. So whale watching, we've added on in the past year, and that's really grown into an amazing thing that I really personally enjoy. I'm also a boat captain, and it's the same but different. It's not underneath the water, but it is just really unique getting to learn about these magnificent animals. And on our trip alone, no exaggeration, I would say 1,000 dolphins.
Thousands. It was insane. Yeah.
So we found a megapod, which is pretty actually common for us there. And we're very lucky in San Diego. We get orcas coming through. We get right now fin whales and humpbacks. So we're very, very spoiled with that. And the way that we do the whale watching is more of a custom experience. We only bring out 6 people at a time, and you get like a charcuterie board. You get it's a really nice experience is what we're always trying to go for.
Yeah, it was really cool. So we all got on the boat as we're going out. Sam is giving us, information about what animals we might see, and kind of saying, hey, you never know if it's a good day, it's a bad day. We're kind of up to the whim of the whales, the dolphins. And Sam says, just be on the lookout for a giant group of birds sort of freaking out above the water. So we see one way off in the distance, and Sam's like, all right, we found a pod. Let's go check it out. As we pulled up, it was just as far as you could see in every direction, dolphins swimming up through the water, up by the boat. They were crisscrossing. It was such an amazing experience. And things like that kind of remind me of, why I work in the sustainability industry is, we're right by the ocean. We can literally see and feel the effects that, our impacts or, our actions have on these animals. So it's really powerful to go out there and see these things, and literally half a mile off the coast of where we live.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that we were able to do that, and thank you for putting in the time and the effort, and starting this business and making that decision to be as conservationist as possible. Really appreciate it. So how can someone contact you or reach out to you or learn more about your business?
Sure. Yeah. You guys can find me on social media, obviously on Instagram and YouTube, and our website, www.odysseydiving.com. All those places. Odyssey is spelled Odyssea, a little play on words. and we'll pop right up. So I'm always open I'm really here to learn from y'all and to network and to answer any questions you guys have about diving, Southern California, or whale watching, anything like that. So I'm just really, really blessed to be here.
Yeah, so 2 days ago, Sam was leading a dive trip to Catalina Island. Yesterday, you led a whale watching tour, got on a plane, flew here. Now he's talking here. So let's give it up for Sam for
Thank you.
joining
Thanks
us
for
today.
taking the time.
Truly the epitome of, the future of sustainable business. Sam, appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.